Fellas, I tell y'all time and time again, it's easy to make plans with women. Let's get into this. Girl writes to me, Clint, you have to see this. I'm like, is this spam? She said, no, this man-made plans. I want to see what you rated. By the way, he follows you. She wanted me to say his name, but I ain't doing that. Let's get into it. She says, hi. He says, I was just thinking about you. She says, smiley face, now you have to tell me. He says, I was thinking about our next date. I enjoyed our first one. And he wanted to know, are you free this Saturday, late morning to the afternoon? She said, yes, I'm free. What do you have in mind? My man said, you and I have a late breakfast. Then afterwards, I have to go run some errands. I know that's a weird date idea, but I have to go to Target. I'd like your company, and whatever you need for Target is on me.
Bryant for the win. Bang!
She says, a Target date? He said, yes, but don't buy a TV. You down? She says, I'll see you Saturday, sir. This is not a new idea, but I'm going to give him a 15 out of 10 because he executed this properly. My man set her up with, I'd like your company. I'd like your company? And then the knockout blow was, anything you want from Target is on me. I'm going to keep it real. Bro, if she's staying you up, I'll go on a Target date with you if it's on you. But all jokes aside, it seems like she really likes him. Fellas, when a girl likes you, she'll go anywhere with you. My man plans to feed her, enjoy her company, and get her Target products. Let me know in the comments what you rate this.
Welcome back to the channel. You see the information on the screen, so you know what I'm about. So let's get into it. So this particular video was sent to me, actually. So one of my friends sent it to me. She wanted to know, how I felt about it. And I told her, honestly, there's multiple ways to look at this particular video. It's just about, I think, your perspective. I think the first thing, that we can see, and I think that this is really the best part of this particular video, was how the man interacted with the woman through the text to get her on the first date. His words, his energy, let's go out, what are you doing? I got you, blah, blah, blah. I think all of that was great, like the very beginning of it. But I think once you go into the middle, you're going to have a split. And you're going to have a split because now people are going to look at this from a different perspective. So first, let's jump into the woman's world. Like for the women, that are watching, how would they see it? Well, that's the whole thing about Target, going to Target. So remember, he's already taking her to brunch or to breakfast. So she's already technically going on a date. And if you've been following me, for a decent amount of time, you would know that I actually encourage people every once in a while, if you can, actually on the first or second date, to take the woman to the mall. I don't say men necessarily have to buy them anything. I'm just always saying it's a good, kind of date because you get to walk around, you get to talk, and then honestly, you can see what she's naturally attracted to. And that can actually teach you a lot about who she is and really, like I say, where, what life, she wants to live and how she's living and where she's going. So I actually think going to a normal place many times can be a great thing. Now, I think what's happening, and like I said, when I look through the comments, most of the comments are favorable for this particular video. Most of the people in the comments are actually women. And they thought that this was a great thing. They thought that the men, this particular man, they give him 2 thumbs up. But again, let's really break it down. So some women might be frustrated, like I said, because they're going to Target. All right. But the man comes back and he basically says, hey, I'm willing to buy you some stuff from Target, whatever you need, because I got to get some stuff, and the only thing he's basically saying is don't buy anything expensive. Now, if you dated some of the women I have dated, all right, somebody can easily go to Target and buy $50 to $100 worth of skincare products. In fact, a lot of the women that I know, that's where they go to do their shopping for skincare. Because with Walmart, it's up and down, and then some of the other places may not have it. So if they don't have it coming in from Amazon, they will probably go to Target, pick some things up, and then go home. So a Target date, with a certain woman could be expensive. And see, that's where I think the break is going to be between men and women. I think the women might not like it because it's literally Target, but he kind of smoothed it over because he's saying, okay, I'm gonna buy you something. So not only did he, spend money, as far as the breakfast is concerned or the brunch is concerned, but then he's going to spend money again at Target/Target, right? And where a lot of men are going to be upset, now we're going to go to the man side. This date is expensive. It might not seem like it's expensive, but it's expensive, or it has the potential to be expensive. Because remember, if you go to brunch, I know here in Atlanta, depending upon where you're going, you could have spent $50, if not $100, just for brunch. Okay, I've been to places where it was like $35 a plate, and a lot of women like to get their mimosas and different things like that. So you could be talking about 35 times 2 plus, a drink for her, maybe a drink for you. Now you're at $100 plus tip. Then you going over here to Target and you're basically saying, okay, she can go buy her some stuff. And if she calls you on that, because now you're a big bad man and you're saying all this, well, hey girl, I got you, blah, blah, blah. And now she goes and spends another $100. From a man's perspective, see what I'm saying? That could be a lot of money. And I think the problem with stuff like this is because it's how people are seeing it. And that's really what it boils down to. Because I care about marriage, I don't really care how you date. And see, this is one of those things where people will talk about how to date well. All right. And if this is a guy and he got money like that, then this is going to put him way above, his other competition. But that does not mean that he is going to marry this woman. It doesn't mean that at all. He might not even care about her, one iota. He just got money like that. So we have to look at that, and we have to talk about that, and we have to consider that. Now, once you get beyond that, you got a lot of guys that are going to perpetrate. And they might try to push this energy. Maybe they like the woman enough or whatever it is. And so they're going to try to perpetrate this energy. But again, that really doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean that anything's going to go and actually cross the finish line. But the thing I do like about this is that a lot of women are saying, if you are a good man and if I like you, I'll go to Target with you. I'll go to Walmart with you. I'll go to the grocery store with you. And the thing I'm saying is, isn't that just normal? Isn't that how the evolution should be going? See, to me, when I see stuff like this doesn't really blow me away because this would be the natural progression that I would have when I'm dating someone. When I go out on the very first date, that's the date that I'm really trying to get to know you. I'm a little bit more concerned about how I really line this thing up. But by the time I get to the second date, or maybe if we've talked a lot, or maybe we've already hung out a lot, I'm actually not as concerned. So by then, if I'm saying, okay, let's walk the mall, or would you be okay with going to the park? Then that's part of that evolution. And by the time you get to the third date, oh yeah, if I need to get some groceries and you want to hang out with me, you hang out with me, we get these groceries, we go to Target, we do whatever we need to do. Again, I'm not seeing where the problem is. And see, this is why I'm always talking about how being a good dater does not necessarily get you married, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you're with is really that big of, is that much of a higher value. Because at the end of the day, it's just about how people roll. See, to me, I'm trying to get, like I say, to that 90-day point. And the first couple of dates is really, honestly, from my perspective, it is just about making the woman feel comfortable. Making her feel comfortable around me, making her know that I look like what I look like, that she gets to be, alone with me so she can ask questions and I can do the same. But I am not about to go out on dates over and over again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dates. It's not going to happen like that. It is going to, like I say, evolve. The first 2 or 3 dates, yes, they might be out and about. And I've had women to say, well, I'm not coming over to your house. You're not coming to my house. Then I'm looking at them. I'm like, well, I guess we don't have nothing to talk about. Because I'm not going to continue to go out with you over and over and over again. And honestly, in 1 hour's worth of time, I'm not really going to be able to get to know you that well. The only way that we're going to get to know each other is to spend real time together. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be at someone's house. It can be walking the mall. It can be out shopping. It can be, like I said, going, like here in Atlanta, we have the Beltline. We can walk the Beltline. I don't mind doing those things. But it's not going to be constantly sitting at a restaurant, or even going bowling or doing some other activity. That is not going to be, for me, how I am going to roll. That is for the beginning so you can get comfortable with me. But at a certain point in time, we're just going to start doing natural things together. And if we happen to go out, if we happen to need food, then I'll take care of it. So for me, it's like I said, it's like first couple of times I meet up with you, yes, we go out. We'll go out, whatever, do that thing. The next probably 2 months or so, more than likely, I'm going to meet you, your house, meet you, my house, meet you at a park, meet you, like I say, Beltline, going for a walk, whatever it is. And we're going to spend hours of time together. 3, 4, 5 hours of time. And during that time, for me, I am going to, like I say, feed you. I'm going to take care of you. So whether that is me cooking for you or you cooking for me, or, we end up in a situation where we're both hungry and then I'm looking up and I'm like, yo, you want Taco Bell? Or yo, you want Chipotle? Or yo, do you want the Mexican restaurant up the street? It doesn't really matter, but it's just about, do you want food? And if you want food and we're buying it, I got you. Because again, it's about the evolution. It's not about constantly being on dates. And I think that there are some women, and I think I want to make sure that I put this out here for both the men and the women. There are some women who really want dates. And what these women really mean by this is they like it when a man puts together a surprise date. And what they're really looking for is for the man to call them up or text them. And you might have seen some of this stuff online already, but they want the man to call them or text them and basically say, hey, on Friday, Saturday night, whatever it is, at 7 o'clock, I am going to pick you up, wear something semi-formal or wear heels or wear a nice dress, and I am going to pick you up. And then that woman is waiting. The man comes to pick her up, and she kind of goes on a little mini, whirlwind type of romantic, date. And there are women that want that. Even if you've been dating them, or courting with them for several months, sometimes even if you're married to them, they want that. But I will say for a lot of the women, not every woman wants that. And not every man is necessarily going to lean into that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the man is good or bad. See, I only dated one woman that was like that. And it actually took me a while to understand what she wanted. Because she kept saying, you don't take me on dates. You don't take me on dates. You don't take me on dates. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, every other time we get together, we're out at a restaurant or we're doing this or we're doing that. But as I kept asking the question, she showed me that what she really meant was that I would call her up or, like I say, text her and do it formally. But see, in my world, once I'm hanging out with a woman, at that point, we just get up and do the date. I don't have to call it. I don't have to say it's going to happen. I don't have to prep her. I just basically say, hey, do you want to go somewhere? She's like, cool. She gets up, she puts her clothes on, I put some clothes on, and we're out the door. And so what I've learned is sometimes the problem is communication. That's just really what it is. It's communication. It's not necessarily saying what one person wants is good, bad, or different. Because, see, I'm the type of person that if, I'm just being real. If it's Friday night or Saturday night, more than likely I'm going out anyway. Because me and my ex, wife, we did that all the time. I mean, we always on Saturday night were at some kind of restaurant, because we weren't going to cook. So the difference between a woman saying, I want dates is really me just saying, hey, on Saturday at 5 o'clock, be ready. We're going to go out. Versus at 3 o'clock on Saturday, I sit up and I'm like, yo, you want to go get something to eat? And she's like, yeah, let me put a little makeup on. And then we going. See, these, again, it's the subtle things that show up in communication that become the problem. And so for the women that really want dates, you need to communicate. And you need to make sure that you are speaking to the man in a way that he fully understands what you mean. Because a lot of times when people are saying one thing, they think they're being clear, but they're not. And even with the lady that I was dating, she kept saying this to me over and over again. And I was looking at her really like, what are you talking about? And it frustrated me until we had a deeper conversation where it was forced out that what she meant was planned dates before time, generally 24 hours or more before the date happened. And so once I understood that, I was like, oh, well, fine. If that's what you want, I'm okay with that. And so at that point, it was no longer a problem. You see what I'm saying? So to me, a lot of women, like I say, the women on the side, in this particular video, they're cheering it on. But to me, this is normal. I don't really see, again, where this particular video is saying something spectacular. Maybe it's saying something spectacular for some of the women out there, But again, if that's your reality, I would ask you who you're dating and why are you dating them? And then for the men, that might be looking at this like, okay, how do I take this? Well, if the woman likes you and you guys are beyond, like I said, 1 or 2 dates, doing normal things with them should be normal. This is why people talk about your person being your friend, because you're supposed to do normal stuff together. It's not just, you come over when you really want to be romantic with the woman, and then the rest of the time you spend it with your boys. If that's what you're going to do, you don't need to get married. You just need to find you 2 or 3 call girls / prostitutes that you can go over their house. And trust me, it's going to be 10 times cheaper. Okay, in the long run, if you're just concerned about money. So we got to kind of get around this. I think, like I said, it's a lot of times it's communication. And it's funny because the lady that sent me this, I think she was thinking this was a big thing too. And so, it kind of saddens me because, she is a good friend, that she might have, dealt with some men that just weren't at that level. But I don't know. For me, it ain't no big deal. I'm taking a woman to Target. I'm taking her to Walmart. And when she going with me, if it's the first couple of dates, I don't know if I'm buying her nothing. She just hanging out, and then, like I said, she want 1 or 2 items, maybe we can talk about it. But, if it's something big, no. And I wouldn't open that door because you never know. A woman might call you on it and put $100 worth of product, in the bag. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on this year. Every other Thursday, we'll definitely be having Thursday talks. So basically, come out for that. Remember, if before Valentine's Day, we do have the Valentine's Day event. So if you're watching this before Valentine's Day and you are in the Atlanta area or you want to come to Atlanta, you can still get your ticket, for the Valentine's Day event. Try to get it before it sells out because it will sell out. All right. But we're going to have a lot more events like this in Atlanta. Again, if you have a city in which you want to get some things going, please reach out to me. You can do that on Instagram or TikTok. If you also have a story time that you would like for people to know and you want to, let them know about some of the men or women that you have dated, let me know and we can set up a time to do a story time for you. So you don't have to have a full channel. You can just do your one and done and be done. So anyway, I thank you all for watching and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll get the notifications, and I will see you all in the very next video.